is Isaiah 51:6, speaking about our day relative to climate change.
Isaiah 51, verse 6. Lift up your eyes to the heavens and look upon the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner, but my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. Well, it's interesting. I suppose you're referring to the reference to the earth waxing old like a garment. It is interesting that science or scientists are bringing forth this idea that the earth's climate is changing. It's going to be catastrophic. It's going to be just terrible, tragedy after tragedy. Has anyone heard some people say that the world's going to end in maybe 12 or so years? There's actually been prominent people of the world. These aren't religious people, secular individuals who are so worried and fearful of climate change that they're saying the world may end in 12 years. And what's interesting is that timeline gets pretty close to 2033. 12 years from now, I think they said it last year, but anyway, general area. And I think we can understand that of the great multitude that God saved, there is a large portion that are very young, that God saved them in the womb, or maybe they were a little baby or a little toddler right at the time of May 21, 2011, and they're growing up. This does a couple of things, especially in this time where the Lord is he's no longer using Family Radio, and Family Radio had a worldwide platform, and yet he commands feed the sheep. Well, how can the sheep be fed? You can't use the church, can't use Family Radio anymore, and so there's, I think, a time of transitioning, and so by saving many young people, the Lord is really protecting them, because parents, whether they're Muslim parents or Buddhist parents or atheist parents, they have a certain love for their children. They watch out for their children, and so it's almost keeping them, for the most part, in a protective way until they can grow up. And so these children also are going to school, and in schools today, what are they teaching? Climate change, and there's hysteria. There's a lot of, all kinds of worst case scenarios being presented and taught to the children, and they're hearing things from people they admire. Some politicians, if we don't do something, 12 years, 15, the times change. But now you have this developing, and every time there's a hurricane or a tornado or a storm, it just is highlighted, and then somewhere down the line, these people are going to hear the end of the world, 2033, but it's a biblical presentation. It's from the Bible. And so there's a lot of preparation, I think, going on with young people, especially all over the world, where it would open them up they're already open to the possibility, but it would open them up to receive this kind of information, and especially God's elect, where they might just naturally head in that direction and try to learn more about that idea, because, hey, it actually coincides. It goes hand in hand with what I'm learning from, the scientists and these other people. But as far as the earth literally or physically waxing old like a garment, I think this is referring to the very last day and the end of the world. As far as, I believe we can see from the Bible, the earth is going to continue on. There'll be seasons, and as it says in Genesis 8, summer and winter, and everything will continue on day and night right up until the end. Whether we have catastrophes that are actually a result of the earth wearing away, I don't know. I don't think that's too significant. But one interesting point in this verse is that God is saying that the heavens will vanish away like smoke, and the earth wax old like a garment. And then he says what's happening to the creation is also going to happen to those that dwell therein. So just think of our understanding that from 2 Peter 3, the world's going to burn, the whole universe will melt with a fervent heat and be gone. Does anyone think that the universe is going to a place of suffering? Where it's going, is the universe after it's destroyed going to continue on existing in any kind of way? It's gone. It's gone. It's interesting how we don't have a problem seeing that. Yeah, the universe is just poof, never again. Now it's a new heaven, new earth when God creates. Well, what happens to the universe, to the cursed creation, will happen to them that dwell therein in like manner. So man, unsaved man, perishes just as the world, just as the stars and everything else of the creation, and man is gone forever. He's annihilated. So this is a good verse to really show that there's no place of eternal suffering in hell forever and ever. But man will pay the penalty of death, and death is the cessation of existence, where we go to be no more. That's it. No more thoughts. We perish like the beasts. Okay, let's stop here.